Welcome back to Velshi and Rule. Today marks 100 days since the disappearance and murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, allegedly on the orders of Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
On October 2nd, 2018, Khashoggi walked into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey. He was there hoping to secure documents he needed to marry his Turkish fiancée. Unfortunately, he never walked out. And 4 weeks, the Saudi government claimed he left the consulate alive and well. And then finally, admitting the vocal critic of the kingdom died inside the building, though they still maintain that the Crown Prince was not involved.
All right, joining us now is Academy Award-winning director Alex Gibney. Right now, he is producing a film on Jamal Khashoggi and on U.S.-Saudi relations. Alex, great to see you again. You are producing this film along with Lawrence Wright, who wrote a memorial for Jamal Khashoggi in The New Yorker on Wednesday. What are you hoping to communicate out of this? And I ask you this because there are a lot of different messages here. One is about press freedom. One is about not having journalists subject to the whims of other countries. One is about America's strangely uncritical historical relationship with Saudi Arabia. What's the point? What's the message?
Well, at the event today, I think the point is press freedom. I mean, we have to focus on the idea that not only was Jamal Khashoggi brutally murdered, and now there's a campaign underway to try to keep those who are really responsible from ever being held to account. And we want to prevent that. But I think more broadly speaking, 53 journalists were murdered this year. Or in 2018, and 34 of them were killed for their journalistic activity. And we want to shine a light on that at a terribly important moment in time when our president, the President of the United States, as recently as I believe January 7th, referred to the press as the enemy of the people.
Do you think you can enlighten anyone, change their minds? I mean, what you're doing and what you're highlighting is so massively important. Beyond those who already passionately believe and support this, who do you want to hear this?
I want everybody to hear it. I mean, the fact is, the First Amendment is a fundamental part of who we are as Americans. But I think all over the world, the role that the press plays in terms of holding politicians to account, keeping everybody honest, is absolutely vital. And if we give up on that, we're sunk as democracy. So I think that it's terribly important for everybody to get this message and to realize how fundamental it is, that the role of the press, the role of journalists is so important in terms of being able to be free.
Alex, the president is within his First Amendment protections to call journalists the enemy of the people. But it's dangerous in a way that many Americans may not be conscious of, right? Because we take for granted that we as journalists are free. You as a journalist and a filmmaker are free to produce what you want, and we're not likely to face sanction because there isn't some other government waiting for us if we walk into an embassy in another country. How do you convey to people who don't feel like the First Amendment and freedom of expression is under threat globally that this is something regular people have to get a little bit heated up about?
There are norms of behavior. And when powerful leaders, and Donald Trump is the most powerful leader in the world, start to refer to the press as the enemy of the people, it sends a signal to other authoritarian regimes that it's okay if members of the press are murdered. It's okay if you crack down and put them in prison. And by the way, many of our so-called allies in the Middle East, notably Egypt and Saudi Arabia, along with Iran and I believe China, there's one other country I'm forgetting, are responsible for jailing fully half of those journalists who are there in jail merely for doing their job. So I think we have to be very careful about standing up for who we are as Americans in terms of proclaiming this very powerful and important protection for journalists. Because honestly, if we stand up and there is a popular will to protect journalists, they will be protected, and authoritarian rulers won't feel so enabled in terms of being able to go after them worldwide.
Hey, MSNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there and click on any of the videos here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up now.